Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our flat fee scheduled billing and Abacus Law webinar today. Sorry for we're a little late getting started. We've had some technical difficulties, believe it or not. So, my name is Perry Paxton Lafferty, and I will be your host today as we go through flat fee scheduling in our Abacus billing program. If for any of you all that have not attended one of these webinars before, welcome. And there is a question section on your GoToWebinar panel. If you do have a question, please feel free to type it in there. And when I'm done with the presentation, I will do my best to answer your questions. Also, you can always submit questions to webinars at abacusnext.com. That they go, into that, and then they disperse them out to the appropriate people, and we can get back and answer any questions that you think of in the middle of the night, because I know this is so exciting. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me make sure I got all my buttons set up properly. Open up my questions panel so I can see. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my screen. I'm in Abacus Accounting, obviously. And what we're talking about today is one of the billing options in Abacus. We do have flat fee billing and we have monthly fee billing, but this one is kind of a hybrid. It's a specialty, okay? So if you have agreements set up with your clients where you've actually set up a schedule of when they are to pay particular dollar amounts to the firm, in other words, you're billing them and the payments are due on certain dates, we can use this style of billing to help you out. So what I'm going to do here is come on over and show you how to get this set up first of all. So under the Matter drop-down menu, and if you all haven't been to a class of mine yet, you know I like the drop-down menus because we don't have enough little icons to cover all of the particulars here. So I always use the drop-down menus. We are going to go here into the Matter Maintenance option here, the very first option on our Matters drop-down menu, and I'll go ahead and open that up. Now, I have set up somebody today that we are going to use for this. So let me see if I can remember how I entered this. Okay, I believe it's Michael Crawford. And I've set up a matter specifically for flat fee scheduled billing. Okay, so I'll double click here to open up the matter. This is where you initiate what you're going to be doing here. This is where you set up the particular options and also the payment schedule itself. So you really do have to have a payment schedule. Basically, when you come over on the billing tab here, the second one in after you've opened up your matter, you open up billing, and what you want to be sure to do is use the appropriate billing format code, okay? So obviously there's a lot of other ones in here, but for scheduled flat fee billing, it has its own billing format code of FFS, flat fee schedule, and that is the one you want to use. Flat fee scheduled bills look totally different than any other type of bill that Abacus presents. They have a section saying how much that payment is for right now versus the whole amount that the client owes. So you have to use this billing format to turn this option on. So FFS is the one we want to use here. Okay. Now that works together with our billing mode of flat fee. Now, as I mentioned, there are a couple different kinds of flat fee billing. There's the type of flat fee billing where you have a one-time fee for your client for all the legal work that you're going to be doing. Okay, that is not necessarily what we're talking about today, but everybody, just so you know, you choose a different billing format code, probably the GEN, general one, for regular flat fee billing with just one invoice, and you would choose flat fee and put in the full amount. Okay, so in this instance, yes, you will still use the flat fee option under billing mode for scheduled flat fees, but just don't be confused because you use that as well for a one-time flat fee. Okay. Then you will come down to the bottom of this column after you choose your flat fee and enter the dollar amount. This dollar amount, in our case today, is what's going to be paid over time. Okay, it's not just one bill that goes out to the client. It's as many bills as you decide to go out to the client, all based on their payment schedule. All right, so FFS, flat fee with the total amount of the flat fee. And then the other magic button here is under our billing frequency, we come down to payment schedule. Now, if you do not choose payment schedule, you know what, I'm not going to make that go away. You will not have this tab here, this PMT SCHD, that's supposed to stand for payment schedule. Okay, this tab will not be here if this option is not turned on. So you'll know right off the bat, if these three things aren't set up the proper way, you won't have this tab here to be able to enter your payment schedule. So we get these three set up. Now we've got our nifty little news tab here. So let's open this up. And here we go. It is pulling the dollar amount of our total flat fee from that billing tab, from that dollar amount right here at the bottom. Okay, so that's what comes through to the payment schedule. I should say, obviously, this is the matter description, so you can just be sure you're on the right person when you're doing this, but obviously the total flat fee. Then you have the option to either calculate the amount by an installment, okay, the installment amount versus the number of installments, depending on what you have in the schedule that your client signed up with, right? You just pick one of these. They're very simple as far as straightforward. Calculate by installment amount, okay? So if you are choosing that one, you put in the first due date. So let's say, for example, the first date that things are due, or yesterday, just to keep things nice and clean. So I'll put that in. Do you want to schedule a payment prior to the current date? So it's just keeping up with you because today's the 19th. Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Yes, I do. Then the installment amount. Remember, we're choosing this option. So we are going to enter the installment amount. So let's say it's $1,000. Okay. So you put in the 1,000, decimal place, whatever. And so we know we're doing it starting yesterday. Okay. And the time interval. How often are you going to be sending out these bills? Because it's going to date each installment amount by date. So we'll just stick with monthly, but if you wanted to do it weekly, bi-weekly, okay, or, we've got 6 months in here. If you're going to do it every 6 months, I'll just stick with monthly. And I click on the add button. That then goes ahead and sets up my 5 due dates with my 5 amounts, okay? And you can see they're spaced a month apart because I chose monthly, and that's basically it, okay? And you hit save, and this is done. Now, can you edit these? Can you play with these? Well, yes, you can, okay? Maybe something's a bit odd, and maybe something's going on. The client wants to pay the big amount at the end or something like that. You can take any of these installments and edit it and change things out, okay? So if I'm going to change this, maybe this particular payment, we agreed it would only be $500. Or let's make it different so we have different numbers on here. How about $750? Hit modify after I'm done. And it will then go ahead and do this, but I need to see that my sum of installments is only $47.50. I don't have the full $5,000. So I need to add manually an additional payment to make sure I come up to that $5,000. So it's not going to let me out of here without having the proper amount. I could take this payment and edit it and make this amount pick up the difference, because I made the first one an easier payment, I should say. Okay, so now it re-adds this. It comes up with the $5,000, and it will let you save. So you definitely can play with these numbers. You could add additional payments. Maybe you wanted it to be 7 months instead of 5 months, I think I have here. You could do that. You can add your own date, your own amount, whatever, and it will calculate it in. So it is, manageable that way. And so that's basically everything we have to do right here for our matter maintenance for flat fee scheduled billing. Once again, the billing format code, the billing mode with the dollar amount, and the billing frequency, which then creates the payment schedule tab, and we come in and set that up. Okay. Now you can see that basically it just set up the amounts due. We haven't done any billing yet, and we haven't received any payments yet. When those are entered into the program, when bills are processed and posted, because it happens upon posting, this will be updated with invoice numbers and invoice dates. When payments are posted, then of course the last payment date and the dollar amount will be updated as well. So Abacus kind of takes over from here, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to actually do billing. You still have to do the bills. There's no magic button you can push that just boom, it does bills, automatically for you with, so you don't have to look at your screen. We still have to be in charge. All right, so that's everything under matter maintenance. So I'm going to hit save here. Okay, yay, lovely. I like when I get that message. And then I hit done. All right, so now let's move down to our pre-bills and our actual bills. Under billing, we have pre-bills, okay, just like normal. And I'm going to say the flat fee scheduled bills, pre-bills, don't have as much information on them as the actual bill, the real bill we send the client. It doesn't, parse out how many payments are due when. So pre-bills aren't, going to give you all the information the actual bills do. Let me get these out of here. I was playing before class and I didn't get rid of them. So come into pre-bills. Got our big open listing here. Remember, no posting with pre-bills, right? So we click on add. Now, the nifty thing about billing with flat fee scheduled matters, okay, is the fact that you come in here and you can do billing frequency, okay? And when you open up your billing frequency, there is an option here for scheduled payments. So I don't have to remember, because Lord knows I can't, every payment and when it's due. That's why we have the computer, so it will remember. So I can just say, go get all the matters with scheduled payments. So I choose that. And then I come over to my dates. So the option here is going to work with the dates here. Okay, you can't just choose P, ignore the dates, and hit add to billing run, because it may not be doing what you want to do. You have to control your dates. So let's talk about that. Okay, date of bill. Well, we all know I don't much care about that. It's whatever date you want to appear on the bill. It would be nice if we made it make sense to our client that we billed them on the date we said we were going to, but the date of the bill really isn't going to do much as far as we're looking at here. Start date. My biggest rule in all of Abacus billing is we don't touch this. Okay, that causes more problems than anything. People don't realize that it really, you have to think about your prior balances and when those were done. So the easiest way to handle the start date is never touch it. Sometimes I wish they would take this off the screen so we can't mess ourselves up. Everything will calculate just fine. It never rebills what was billed. It only carries a balance forward. Fee and cost cut date. Now that does tie in. So if I'm going in here and I want all my pre-bills for all my matters that have scheduled flat fees, okay, through what date? And this is the kicker. It's going to pick up through what date. So if I say the 19th, it should pick up that matter, because I didn't do it yesterday. The one we just scheduled and started with February 18th. I did not do that one yet. Obviously, I was off work yesterday, so I certainly didn't come in and do billing. So picking up on the 19th, we'll go ahead and look through my entire database and look for all the matters that have payments scheduled that have not yet been billed up through February 19th. So this fee and cost cut date works with the scheduled payment date. You want those to be the same thing. Okay, so here again, I'm going to put in today's date there. So those two work together. Our payment cut date, I always think should be the current date, because you want the clients to see all payments that have come in. You don't want them to see, if I was doing this on the 18th or on the, what am I trying to say? If I cut my payments off on a different date than the current date, it may not show a payment that was made on the date that is not being included here. Okay. So these three, I'm thinking should, well, you have to know what day are you going through. I want all my flat fees from all my matters that have flat fee scheduled billing that have a payment due up through 2/19 that I have not billed yet. So I'm trying to make that point in that it doesn't just pick up the matters for today. If you have other matters that maybe the due date fell on the weekend, it will pick those up as well and include them here. Okay? Now I can come to add to billing run. Do you have to do it this way? Well, no. You could go in and select them individually because we know there's two ways to do everything in this program, but you'd have to remember which ones to pick to select them individually. So that's why I like, because I can't remember all of these different matters with all their different due dates. So I just let the program do it, and I click on Add to Billing Run. Oh, dear, what did I do? Don't you love when this happens? All of that talk, and it didn't do it. All right, let me try this again. Oh, yay. Come on now. Well, I did do it through the 18th, I think. Okay, so why isn't it picking it up? And it doesn't like me. All right, just let me go back here and play a little bit. Okay. See if it's going to give me something this way. All right, it gave me that one. All right, I'm going to have to go in and investigate why the 18th came through because I didn't choose the 18th. I choose the 19th. But let's see what this does. Okay, one step at a time here. So now we have our pre-bill. I'm going to do a preview so we can see it on the screen. And there we go. Now, everybody may have a different story here as far as whether you want your time tickets to show on the bill. Okay, you can have them come through to the bill as I am here. I entered a time ticket and it did come through to my pre-bill. All right, so that's in here. Okay. This is, let's see here. This is not doing what I expected it to do. Let me go back and check something. I love this. All right, so let's go back to this matter screen because this is where we're going to investigate what's going on. Okay, billing. We have our flat fee schedule. Could be that I overwrote my original matter, my original payment schedule. Let's look at that. That's on the 18th. 750. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. I thought I was looking for 1,000, so maybe that's me. Let's do this again and see if that came through like it was supposed to. Okay, there's 275 there based on my timekeeper rate, and there's the 750 right here. So it did come through properly. It's showing the whole fees are 5,000. This is a pre-bill, so remember, this is not going to be reflected as far as the dollar amount coming through. It's going to show the actual payment that's due. So pre-bills don't give you all the schedule. The schedule spelled out. It only gives you the payment that is currently due. Let's go look at a real bill. Okay, thanks for working with me there. So now we're going to billing. Go to the print the real bills, the actual bills. Once again, same old thing, come here. If I wanted to do a lot, I could right here, or I can go here. If you do know who it is you want to bill for, you could come here, not do a whole bunch of them at once. Okay, we want to make sure we're pulling through. Let's see if it's going to generate it properly. Okay. You could use the trust option if you're actually holding money in trust, but if you're holding money in trust, I always wonder about this. If you're holding money in trust, why are you building them on a payment schedule? But, I've learned in all the years of doing this that might just happen, so I'm not going to say anything else, but you can use your trust options. This guy didn't set any trust for right now. So add to billing run, and let's see what we get. Always a surprise. Okay. All right. So I did have my time tickets come through to my bill. This is an option in your billing format code to get into the details of the format code. We just assigned one. I didn't go through the details here in your billing format codes where you can turn off what columns show. But obviously, I have made the dollar amount column not show, or the hours show here, because that makes more sense to me. So there we go. And then we have our flat fee schedule showing them that they owe $5,000 and that $750 is currently due. Okay, so it reiterates it here again. So that's what's going to come through to the actual bill. All right, let me get this out of the way, see if there's anything over here we need to talk about. Okay, let's go back. And okay, so let's go back to page 1. Basically, you can show your time tickets if you would like. If you had costs, they would show here as well. Okay, that would be before the flat fee summary. The cost section would be right in here. But it's going to show the full amount that is due or over time will be due and the total that's due this month. So from here, you would want to go ahead and post that bill. Then it will update their matter maintenance. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we've got matter. Oh, let's billing, post bills. Let's post it with today's date. Very good. All right, let's go back here under matters and go look at that screen to see if it got updated. Okay. Let's go to our payment schedule, and there it gives you the invoice number and the invoice date. Okay, now there are a couple of reports here that I want to make sure we know about as far as being able to look at stuff. Under the matter reports, a flat fee schedule detail report. Under matters, we're going to come here. We're going to go to our matter reports, and let's see if it's here. Okay, flat fee schedule detail. All right, so you can do it by client or all the way down to the matter level. All right, I'm going to bump this up a little bit so it doesn't show a whole bunch of old stuff. So we'll just do, okay. Oh my, I have a lot of things in here apparently, but it's going through and showing for each client. I've got some testing stuff in here. Let's see if I can just find the one I did. Okay, yes, you can see it's going to show each and every, I think they're probably going to be on page 9. Well, let's see. Each and every matter with the scheduled payment date, so that looks like ours right there, from page to page to page. So you can get a flat fee schedule of everything that's in your system. Okay, so that's a good report. And let's see. One last thing to note is on your accounts receivable report, that whole $5,000 is going to show, okay, because we have billed them saying that they have $5,000 due. It does not break it down by dollar amount. So that is one thing to be aware of. If you are actually looking at your AR reports and taking this into account, that full $5,000 is going to be on there. So preview. I think I'm going to have a lot of pages here, and it's very small print. Let's go. PPL. Okay, try to make this a little bigger. Here we go. Okay, and get this out of the way because it's impeding my progress here. And we were in the A's here, so maybe on page 2. Okay. It should be listed here, but it's like I say, it's going to state the full $5,000 in the current column. Seems to be the way the program likes to operate. So that in a nutshell is flat fee scheduled billing. Okay, I've got a lot of old stuff in here. I do apologize. It should be somewhere on my list. But it does come through to the accounting reports, and it should come through to your productivity reports as well under the WIP. On your WIP summary, it should be there as well as far as what's been billed and all the installments on the WIP report. So that is it. Nothing like having it in what is this, 30 minutes or less. But please, questions, if you have any now, I will attempt to answer them. If I can read my little question section here, sometimes it's a little booger to see, but I'm open to questions. Also, if you don't think of them right now, remember, you can always send in questions to webinars@abacusnext.com. Oh my goodness. And ideas for new webinars. Please, if you have an idea of something you'd like to see, instead of just reading what Abacus has to offer, please submit it, and we'll see what we can put together for you, because, I do the same old ones all the time, and I'm always looking for new, new ideas are a great thing. We have these every week. There usually are two Abacus ones, one for AbacusLaw and one for Abacus Billing or Accounting on the Tuesday of the week. So please feel free to go to the website to see what's coming up next. Also, in scheduling training, it will let you know if there's a webinar that's going to cover that training class. So maybe you can come to this first and get a full idea of what you'll be having in your training and come up with more questions to ask one-on-one with your trainer. All right, guys. Well, I certainly appreciate your time today, and I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. And please check back with us. We'll be back next week with another couple of topics for you. So thank you all, and you have a lovely afternoon. All righty. Bye-bye.